General Benai, Part 3. Keontu, the king of coyotes, resided within the shoes of Galathioth. The shoes were formed of earth and clay, and formed exactly to Galathioth's toes. Before the summer equinox, Keontu appeared from within the shoes of Galathioth. Her headdress was earth and clay blue, and affixed upon her a crown in a fashion to display her stature, with many quills of twigs propped behind her head in a tulum fashion. Her eyes were fainted blue with a pale white spot in her left eye, and her cheekbones held her eyes with a crow's foot. Slopped ears were shaped rounded, abounding her hair faded teal white. She enters the lower cave of Galathioth. Keontu wrote a letter, and with a signet of her right hand, wrapped it and delivered it to a carrying bird. Dravelrug flew low across the mountains, passes and between the peaks, arcing it into the lower valley and lands of the lower branch of the ellipsis tree, finally dropping the letter into the lap of the Silver Ariel. Silver Ariel fell asleep with its legs folded and its back against the trunk of the ellipsis tree. As the sun passed into the noon sky, Silver Ariel awoke and vaguely found the letter awaiting him, and the Dravelroke flew away to return to the shoes of Galathioth. It opened the letter and it read, "Tommy, can you hear me? Tommy, can you see me? Me gator laxi bath bihan naga inja." No one will ever know. Silver Ariel propped one leg over his folded leg and perched his arm upon its raised knee and let the letter fall to the ground. The turning winds carry the letter away, and in the bended river floats downstream, the water trailing an ink trail of circlets. The letter became a rolling and churning wave of snakes and dissipated into the river. A single songbird formed from the percryptics of the letter that stood atop the water, its feet stretched over the flowing river as if webbed. Its tail curled around its left leg, scaly and skinned with a thin film, and its wings stretched out with a fiery red and fading oranges in its inner folds, its head holding up to sharp points of scales and cornered eyes of a Siligoth, its mouth corners decorated in thin flippers of shells from the Muna. It opened its mouth and breathed a fireball into the bending river. It spoke Shaiween. From within the mind of the Silver Ariel, a messenger of black cloth appeared and said, "If you have read this letter, then all your percryptics will say is you must win." Its vision fogged, and he fell into a light sleep. In the dream of the Silver Ariel, the percryptics dropped its wings and fell into the water, where its legs were split into four and placed in an interval along the underside of its elongated belly, and all its feathers burned in the water, and its skin formed silky scales of marine green. Its knees curved back as its feet folded inward towards its ankles, and on its face thin hairs formed resembling ferns and sea grasses. The Silver Ariel's sleep grew heavy, and the setting sun passed under the peaks of the mountains into a valley and desert. As if the sky had formed rain, colors of bright purple and green glowed in the night sky, in rolling interchangeable waves. The Silver Ariel's raised leg continually turned in on its side, and its hand and arm folded into its belly with another.